We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace. All right, so we up. What's going on, chat? Welcome back. I am Van. We are all the LFR family. Starting back with my late night group panels. Y'all are going to see a lot of people up in this joint very soon. But for now, we have Lucky and we got Anais, aka Anna P. So get used to seeing their faces, but make sure y'all are brutally honest with them so that they can be the best, they can be on this daggone channel. So give it up to them. Y'all can we up now. Y'all ready?
What's up? Hey everyone. I'm Lucky. Nice to meet everybody. Well, virtually.
All right.
Nice everyone.
Y'all are so daggone formal with the people.
Wagwan people. Everybody good? All right. See.
It's okay, just give it time.
Yeah, give it some time.
We'll get into the rhythm right now.
All right, well, just gonna put it out there. So the title says that we're gonna talk about a couple of things. Kanye, we're gonna talk about Kanye. We also gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is 57 years old. He's in a scandal right now with a 20-year-old young lady who says that at the time of the scandal, she was 19. I'm just gonna let y'all know that I understand that OGs like to date the young people, but I don't agree with that at all. I got a 28-year-old daughter who turned 28 today. Happy birthday, sweet cake, my milkshake. It's my baby. She turned 28 today. She out celebrating with her husband TJ. He treating her right, but I can't see. My youngest baby is 19. My baby girl Gravy, she's 19. I can't see a man that's 57 years old dating a 19-year-old. So honestly, this is what he get. I hate to be that guy, but in my opinion, this is what he get.
First of all, Gravy is 19.
Gravy is 19. 19. About to be 20 in July 10th.
Oh, that just made me feel away. Okay.
One distinction can I make?
Go ahead.
You are an involved father, so God knows what this 19-year-old's parents were like. So that should be taken into consideration.
That's true. Yeah.
I also feel like adults should know better,
Yeah, definitely.
Like I was saying before, I'm not a person who's like looking at age gaps as a bad thing, right? Because I am the age that I am and I could date someone that's 20 years older than me. But I'm a person of sound mind. I've had exposure, I've experienced, I can kind of make decisions in a logical way to think, right? I can't really be, go ahead.
I'm not about to cut you off. You good.
Oh, I thought you was about to say something.
No, I got something to say, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be polite. I'm gonna let you rock.
Yeah, so like I don't think anything's wrong with a super age gap, but I did think that was gross. Like, bro, like why? It's a 19-year-old girl that could be your granddaughter, like not your daughter, your granddaughter, because you are in a big age. You're at a big man phase. Why do you feel the need, the person of your stature and your caliber, if you are, and now that I say it, if you really are giving BDE, you're going to attract someone of like mind.
Hold up, what's BDE?
Big divine energy.
Big divine energy is what she said. BDE. So you think he comes off as he gives that type of energy of big?
He was until this story hit.
Even when he was looking all soft and gay, when he was at the daggone basketball games.
All
sitting
right,
next to
so
his right
okay, so
hand
let me
man
say
that go
this.
to all the games with him.
I am not prone to all of the different nuances of a person's social media life or when they go to basketball games, what
No,
they're
well, I'm
wearing.
telling you.
I'm talking about as far
Uh,
as him being a commentator and me knowing him in his professional path. Yes, I like Shannon Sharpe. However, the list is not all that BDE. But the I'm sorry. The lisp is not all, that BD, but someone of that caliber who has such a wide platform, has so much exposure, has an extensive reach. To me, you could reach out and touch like somebody who is more of your age, even if it's an only chick. Even if it's an OnlyFans chick, find an OnlyFans chick. Then you couldn't even do 25. You had to go with the 19. Like,
19 is just so. You're robbing the cradle at that point.
yeah, it's like he was kind of trying
It's
to farm her.
I agree.
He grew her.
All right, so check this out. I have a video I'm gonna play for y'all. I want y'all to just check it out. Y'all, everybody else, I want y'all to hit the like button so that we can push this video. If you're watching on Twitch on X, I want y'all to hit the like button and hit the repost these drinks. All right, let's go. Where is hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Okay, so he's 54. So I correct myself. He's 54. But that girl, 20-year-old, 19, he says he makes certain moves not to put himself in those type of positions. Well, dating a young person whose brain is not developed and you have been out there in the world. And you have been out there in the world and you know you can have pretty much any girl that you want in your sphere to play that game. You rolling dice. You pretty much playing the pull-out game at that point. You're being reckless. So everything you get from this, you deserve every penny of it.
I just hope it's a lesson. I hope he learns a lesson here. And it doesn't cost him everything because, he had a lot of point. What's it called? See the God, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Charlemagne the God.
Charlemagne the God.
Don't agree with him either. Yeah.
All right. So he made a very valid point. We have to stop putting ourselves in these kind of predicament and then trying to explain our way out of it, type of thing. If you're going to be so disciplined with everything else in your life, your health, your career, why not understand that these are part of your health and wellness? Like avoiding certain types of women, practicing discernment, and not opening up yourself to that type of thing. So yeah, you're right. I think like he kind of like deserves it. I don't feel like he should deserve to lose it all, because I will never feel like a person needs to lose it all in order to learn a lesson. However, if this is what that cost him, then that is a lesson that he needs to endure, and that's going to be something that he needs to learn, because obviously I'm just trying to understand, like, there are so many older women who will still do what you want them to do.
I have one aspect that I don't think we're really considering. And in order for me to elaborate on it, is Shannon Sharpe married right now?
No.
No? Okay.
No kids, no nothing.
Okay. And that still kind of feeds into the position that I want to take, which is society's decay and moral decay within our society. Because
everything's okay.
Everything is now just temptation. People see other people on social media living a certain way, and they want to experience that quick gratification, and they don't consider and weigh the costs of the consequences that could potentially follow it. Even if this girl's
okay, you got stuck, Andy. You said even with what?
Even if the girl's accusations are completely false, let's just assume that, just for the point that I'm trying to make. he still did not consider the fact that it could be used against him in this way if it was completely consensual. Does that make sense?
I think he did consider it. I think he considered it. I'll tell you why I think he considered it, but I think he considered that.
Why do you think that?
Because of the person he decided to get with. He decided to go someone who was top scale OnlyFans, someone who probably was, at the top of her, at the top of what she does. Um, he probably thought that picking her with someone that's not really in the limelight, like the main limelight type of thing, because he has women rappers rubbing up on him all the time, actresses rubbing up on him all the time. I'm talking about hitting on him in his face while he's interviewing him, trying to see what that life like. And he only wanted to deal with somebody who was not really in that sphere. I mean, he did it on purpose. He did not think that she would come back to bite him like that. That's why he was so reckless with her. I'm gonna play this video for y'all because I didn't let y'all hear it yet, but when he was on the phone with her, he sounded extremely reckless with her. Like he didn't think that this conversation would ever get anywhere. He was just so comfortable and so cavalier about how he moved. He did not care at all. But not to say that he was so aggressive that he did what she alleges. I'm just saying that his comfortability with her just showed me that he did not think that she would step out of pocket the way that she is.
I'm going to reserve my other sentiment until we come back. I just want to.
Do y'all want to hear that tape that I'm talking about?
I want to hear the tape. I thought you was about to play it.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all hear the tape. I'm gonna let y'all hear the tape because hold on one second, because I don't know what happened with my my social medias, but something happened. Dang it, man. Let me go back. Yes, Shay Sharpe, he was a little bit too chill about everything, man. But
family,
here is, let me see. Hold on one second. Let me find the video. Is this the one? Okay. All right. Hold on one second. I'm pulling it up now. Where is it? Dang it. I'm seeing every video but it. All right, I'm gonna find that Joan for y'all. Here it is, him responding to the video that she put out, and then I'm gonna play the one where he's heard saying that he's gonna choke the hell out of her when he see her. That probably turned her on though, to be honest with you, because I'm sure she was dealing with that big black nigga because of how rough that he can treat her and how big it be on how picking her up, throwing her across the room and catching her on the other side. he was probably throwing her on one side of the room and then running full speed and catching her with his dang-a-lang. Okay.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
All right, so that's his rebuttal. Now, here's the actual video of that I'm talking about of the recording. Now, she called him. Obviously, she tried to set him up. She was recording the whole thing, and she was trying to get him to say some things that she can use in court. So this is what I'm talking about right here.
Like,
You hearing anything?
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
They flirting.
I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
They flirting. That was flirting.
She said, hold on, wait. Again, people who are into BDSM, this could be a whole conversation for that. Submissive, whatever, sadist, whatever the other one is, where they call you names and they say like wild things to you. I'm not familiar with all the terms, but
Masochism. What it is.
What's it called?
Masochism. I'm 100%. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Okay. Masochism.
Yeah, like that. I don't know what that was. I just really want people who are in that, he has to just know better. How can you not know better? Like, that is my thing. Like, but I guess, again, role play, BDSM, that is okay, but that age difference is not. And perception, this looks really sticky.
It don't look good.
It don't look good at all. Like it just, and this is all you really need nowadays to kind of stir things up and to lose sponsorships and to lose money and to lose everything. All you really need is the pot to be stirred.
That's the one thing I don't like about this place.
Mm-hmm.
Because people can just throw any allegations out there. I'm not saying that she's not true. Because let me put that out there. She might very well be telling the truth. But because this happens so much, we automatically say, man, based off of the guy that we see, I don't think he will have to even stoop that low. Like, he's just too cool. Everybody love him. But she might be telling the truth. Maybe he has put his hands on her. Maybe he has taken it when she didn't feel like. You know what? I'm going to reserve what I got to say, because I know that if I continue, I'm going to say something that will get me canceled. Because I got thought about it.
One thing I have to say is it's also because of the contrast. When we see someone like Shannon Sharpe conducting his interviews the way that he always does, which is very professional, and he tries to not step over the line, and he acts like he gets uncomfortable when someone says something that he thinks is overstepping or inappropriate. He's painted himself in that kind of an image where even if this is consensual and it is just BDSM or role playing, seeing that in contrast with how he portrays himself, to anyone that watches him regularly, it automatically throws you for a loop. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but let me just say this. No one shows their true selves. When the camera's in front of you, you're not being 125% your true self, right? Mm-hmm. in the interim of this is like, if I'm looking at him as a person now, seeing this, it actually shows a different part of him in the sense of he could have been the guy that ain't really getting none in school and really not used to talk to girls in power plays. And he feels like, oh, I'm in power if I can control these certain things, because certain women may not go for that. The type of women that he can attract and can get in these spaces that he's in on these platforms might not be the person that he wants in his bedroom. Granted, understand that. Find a different age gap. I just can't, like someone was saying in the comments, like if she was over the age of 25, that's something that I can understand, because again, you have a little bit different experience, but he's now giving me that a level of insecurity that could honestly be reflective on camera too, where he's showing us the side where, you know, he might get uncomfortable if there's someone who is a little bit more aggressive than he would prefer, because he might like to be the aggressor. So that could make someone feel uncomfortable. And from what I'm gauging or now learning about BDSM is that you can get someone who is like a master or whatever. Again, I'm not familiar with the terms, but they might not like that energy. Say it is whatever it is. I gotta look up the different terms on my phone. But if you are engaging with a person like that, they may like to slap you, but they may not want to be slapped back. So, and they might talk to you in a way where, you know, well, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, okay, I mean, but I don't really want that. And her voice even got lower, her tone and her pitch changed. She was like, wait, it seemed rather it could come off scared, but it can also come off, I'm being more bashful, you know, I'm being more submissive in the sense of like, well, I don't want that.
Well, first of all,
age again.
Exactly. Yeah, come on. We're talking about two adults having that back and forth. And I get it. When you're 18, you're an adult. I get that. But 19 years old, the person you're messing with is 54, powerful, rich, and it's like
he's powerful, rich, but he ain't even attractive. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But well, he's attractive enough to. Well, takes a whole lot. I guess your personality, you're outside and all that other stuff, and he's the strong brother, and his pockets long, a lot of zeros. That's very attractive to a lot of women.
The fame amplifies his attractiveness to someone that's 19.
I still don't understand this. What can they talk about? Like he's trying to have a conversation with her about life, and she's looking at her phone at new TikToks. Like, what can we talk about?
Well, if I'm a freak nasty, excuse me, can I say that? I'm sorry. If I'm
it's just not for any of that. It's just for the nasty part.
I'm just saying, like, if that's what you into, and that's kind of like when you on air, some people in their professional capacity don't want to be like that in their personal capacity, right? They may just want to let you loose, and sometimes it might be a little harder to let loose around a person who's in the same caliber. I guess, like I said, social class and social setting, I get that. I see a lot of powerful men choose totally the opposite of what they are, because that is just what they like and what they prefer. They do not want someone who is of age or of caliber or of certain social class, or they don't want that.
Sounds like Fantasy Island to me.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like baby oils to me.
And if we talk about Fantasy Island, it's a lot.
We talking about Fantasy Island, and we talking about baby oils.
Yeah, it's giving that, but that, like, I'm not saying that, you know, the real has become the fake and the fake has now become the real. Okay, let's just say it. Like, this has been happening in Hollywood for years. If we really want to talk about the whole experience, this is like a whole.
And guess what? I always had a problem with it. DJ Envy mentioned that on the Breakfast Club, and he said people haven't been talking about that before. Yeah, people have, but because we continue to do it and make it seem like it's something that's cool. Richard Pryor dated a whole bunch of younger women. So did Eddie Murphy. So did Al Pacino. Al Pacino just now had a baby by somebody that was like 20 something, and he's like 80.
I think 82.
Yeah, a baby. That's reckless. He's not even gonna be around.
Yeah, that's the point. You're not gonna be around, but this golden egg is. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's what women want. Okay, like in a certain, if she's 26, she's of age. Baby, you of age, you of mind, you are of everything. 19, you are just able to really to just have access to stuff, and especially if you're 19 and you're OnlyFans, that just goes to show you that you really of this young sound mind. Everybody who's 18, 17, I know 19-year who got OnlyFans. Well, I don't know them, but I know like of that age range. I know that that exists. This is something that's been going on for decades, right? And it only gets highlighted when the masses want it to be highlighted. But this is something that is happening on a very regular basis in normalcy of people's everyday life, and in Hollywood, it's happening, and it's disgusting. It is.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, but I also do think it has a lot to do with just a whole societal decay.
Yeah.
A lot of value has been stripped from society. Everything,
Sure.
not just a situation like this. I mean, realistically, if you want my opinion on it, I don't think if you want to have dating with major age gaps, your brain doesn't develop fully until you're 25. So I feel like that should be the cutoff point for really dating someone that's significantly younger than you, whether it's a woman dating a man or an older man dating a girl. And second, I think the root cause of all of this is just a lack of values and morality in society today.
Do you think it's because they no longer have relationships with God, or you think they're becoming too greedy, or do you think maybe they're becoming too much like their forefathers, who was just as devious and just as mischievous and just as murderous and just as evil? Like, because at some people would think that we've evolved into something greater, but then some people would think that we have turned to something less than, because men aren't men anymore, women aren't women anymore. So it's many different ways to look at it.
So I I mean, I'm sorry, just for a second. I would also say that back in certain times when women were 14, giving birth, having families, going to the farm, doing those things, being married off. And I'm not saying that that was right, right? But in those time periods, life was different in the sense of it was still gross. However, they were raised in different time periods. Like
What
that
time would
was
you
a
want to have been brought up in? Those times or this time?
no, I would much more prefer to have the choice of being brought up in this times. But again, we're looking, I would like us to stay. I would like us to say in the sense of now, because this is what I know. So I'm going to be more prone to what I know, right?
Right.
I don't want to be raised in a time where, I didn't have like a dishwasher. It's like, no, I'm joking. Or I had to
You're
go
not
to the
joking.
farm. Or I had to go into the farm. I like a little bit of convenience in where we are right now. But back
I
then,
don't want to
life
live in a
wasn't that.
time of our house. I'm sorry.
Yeah, life wasn't that. Life was to get at. I still believe in certain aspects of it. Like, I think that women shouldn't have so much exposure to a lot of different men. I think that you should get married at an earlier age and build in a certain life. But if I look at the 14-year-old me and compare my 14-year-old me to my 14-year-old son right now, and even my peers back then, I was working, I was doing different things. I could change a tire on a car. I was mowing the lawn, like I was
But
in the
that's
kitchen cooking.
you. What about
When it,
society, though?
no, in society, was also slightly different, still a little bit more volatile. I was also ducking in drive-bys. There were certain things that I saw and was exposed to. Most of my friends were having sex by the age of 16, 17-year-old. Meanwhile, I was still a virgin until I was 18. So all those different types of things, and where we are today versus where we are yesterday, of course, it's going to be a big difference. Would you send 14-year-old, would you prefer 14-year-old you now or your 14-year-old? Well, no, your kids are kind of exceptional, but in the sense of the level of thinking and the things that we've experienced and what we were exposed to at their same age is totally, completely different.
I can't even. I wouldn't compare the two. It's like every generation to me is
Gets
better
younger.
than the generation that came before it. in ways, but they're also
ways.
worse because they've adopted a whole bunch of BS that don't make us better people. It just makes us stronger or faster or more calculated. Doesn't necessarily, and it rips away our fabric. So, like what Anna P is saying, yeah, we have started to diminish and fall apart in the things that actually matter. But when you look at the whole takeover, like capitalism and all these things that require us to be a bit selfish in order to succeed at a high level, that breaks us down. As a matter of fact, it breaks us down so much that we no longer want to have 13 kids like our grandparents or 5 kids like our sister that decided to have more kids, or because usually nowadays like our generation, the most kids that we were having were like 5 6 kids at the most. Our parents, grandparents and whatnot, they was 12, 13, 14, and now they might get 1 or 2 kids after they've lived their life and went on all these trips and all these other things, start their life pretty late. But yeah, the fabric is ripping away, but that's just the life we're in. I mean, that's the world we're in, right, Anna? No?
Can I, yeah, and one thing that I think is another aspect that we're not really taking into consideration is that the convenience of the progress that we have made also contributes to all of this. Because, I mean, just in the past decade, looking at just not even social media, the dating apps, relationships have lost value and everything is replaceable. Phones are now, every year there's a new iPhone, you replace it. So the value that we put into relationships is in that capitalistic sense that you were talking about, Van. And it's, we're
Do
not
whatever we
really
want. Money gets us whatever we want.
But then
deep connections. And that temptation to always have the best, the newest, the shiniest and brightest thing is what leads people to try to, it's not even competing with other people, it's competing with the idea that you have in your head of what other people are doing. And I feel like that mentality is what lands people that seem to have everything, like Shannon Sharpe, into these kinds of predicaments. Because in your head, what you already have, you don't give credence to, you don't put the value on it in terms of the work that you've put in and how far you've brought yourself. And you're just competing with an idea of what you think other people are doing or what other people expect you to do. And it leads you into delving into mingling with a 19-year-old OnlyFans girl.
But
Because
why?
you think you're supposed to.
But why that avatar? Why her? Like, because when I say why her,
Because they think that that is what is desirable for people of their own status and success.
that's the part. So why in the hell is the young white blonde girl the status, like the top of the top, the trophy? Why is that the case? At 19, you're 54 years old. Bruh, you can be out there starting your life with a young white lady or young orange lady or whatever the case may be. But could they at least have some experience in life?
Can I give my 2 cents on that? And this is coming from a white girl. It could be that it's seen as taboo, or because of the entire stereotype that successful Black men get with white women, he has the mentality that that is the avenue that he's supposed to go into, or I don't know.
Why the white?
So someone, Donna, and I think her name was I can't. It was something with the. I'm sorry, because it scrolled up and I couldn't really see it as fast. But it was in the comments and pretty much said that the society today is very over sexualized, right? And everything is just being young and freaking and nasty. And normally that's a lot coming from our youth because that's a lot of what they're seeing and what they're all exposed to. Another person made a comment and said that it's trending to be a young girl with an older guy. It's trending to be an old girl with a younger guy, because there are some people who are just having kids at 47 and 50 years old, but they had their kid with a 21-year-old. And this is becoming more of a norm than normal, because, and another thing too, let me just say, this is a fact. Women's sex drive increases the older we get. A man's sex drive decreases, which is kind of weird that you in this great health of a shape and you're going to try to choose. It's like you got something to prove. So I feel like, to be honest, he just did this because internally, what he gives externally is not what's really being reflected right now. And it's really quite sad. So, yeah.
I mean, but okay, so you saying that in order to test his abilities, he had to go for somebody that he thought would challenge him to the top of his,
No,
like
I
he
said
had to
no.
prove
To test
something
his
to himself in that
ability.
way?
No, to kind of stroke his ego, he had to find someone that he could manipulate and figure stuff out for. So that's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
thank you. That's what I was saying earlier today. Why would he pick somebody so young that he can manipulate somebody
yeah,
that
that's
don't
what
have any experience whatsoever? And honestly, if at the age 18, you're grown. You can do whatever you want. We say it's 21. We say it's 21, but you can vote when you're 18. You can fight for this country and die for this country when you're 18. So I
But your
understand.
brain doesn't stop developing. You're cognitively not mature until you're 25.
I understand that, but guess what? The military still put big ass guns in our hands before our
yeah, we able
brains.
to do stuff and
Before our
drink and go to the
brains.
party, go to the club. The country has been built on being able to expose your kids to things at young ages.
Yeah,
Right?
at very young ages.
At very young age. I don't even think somebody, to be honest, like the whole alcohol age too. Like you're able to smoke cigarettes that can kill you, but you can't smoke alcohol, which can also kill you until you're 21. But you can do this when you're 18, even though this has way more damage on your whole entire body. But okay, whatever. The society, it's like this shit is. I mean, stuff is it's ASS backwards. Okay, it's just turned around and it's just go. I'm sorry, I was about to get caught up in an emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's backwards, and unfortunately, as parents in the village and society of what we deem, a lot of us are not a sound mind. So us expecting people to make sound decisions that are in these spaces are sometimes like. The society, it doesn't promote that. It does not promote that. You see this stuff on TV all the time.
Here's one thing that I know about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is dialed in on what works. What type of content is the best content? With him knowing that, when he go to redtube.com or youporn or something like that .org, and he's looking at these main videos on the home page, he's seeing nothing but white on white on white on white on white on white on white. He want his trophy to be what society deems as the tip top. The tip top is the young lady that he's with right now. Like she meets all of those.
So this
Look
was
at
his
the
girlfriend,
Hollywood
or was this
lead
somebody that
actress. Look at I'm just saying, if you look at the Hollywood lead actress or something like that, you're gonna see somebody that look like the young lady that he's seeing on OnlyFans. Plus, I also want to say this. That's the problem with porno right there, because you see it and then you want it for yourself. He saw her OnlyFans and he wanted it for himself. And because he's this man that has money and power, he went and got just that. But he still treated her the way that he wanted to treat her, talk to her the way he wanted to talk to her. But guess what? She signed up for that. So I really can't say what was right or what was wrong in that. That was an intimate conversation. So she got that intimate language. She got that tone that you would normally get in a one-on-one conversation. Also, they were patient with each other. She was just breathing on the phone and he wasn't interrupting her. He was just sitting there like this was bae. Like he was giving her respect. Like if you're on the phone with somebody and neither one of you are talking and you're just allowing them the time to gather their thoughts, that person means something to you on some level. Because anybody else, you're not even going to allow that. You're going to be like, what's on your mind? What you guys say? Because especially if they come off to you greasy, especially if they say something disrespectful, especially if they're trying to accuse you of something. And he's still respect and like falling back and chill and letting her say whatever she got to say.
Can I just say this too? I was about to start looking up the stats on, because if we're looking at, you mentioned pH, like the pH websites, right? They
pH
even
balance.
have it as a fetish, huh?
You say pH balance?
No, pH website. You were talking about porn, so I'm just
Where the H come from?
pH for porn. It's a certain website with the
Oh, I
initials.
know what you're talking about. I'm slow as hell. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so like that's even a fetish. Young teen, da 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 da. Like that's a
Yes.
thing, and it gets a lot of hits.
Yes.
A lot. Like if I was to look up the stats, like what gets watched more, that's gonna come up in the top 2. Okay.
Have you
Next
looked up the
to-
stats? Tell the truth. Have you ever looked up the stats?
Yes, I was just about to go confirm it on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, on chat.
Yes, that one time I did.
No, because I no, I'm just talking about like you. First of all, they tell you like what's the most. Never mind, I'm not really saying too much, but when if you look to go, it shows
No, you're
in
right.
high
They
numbers.
Huh? But no, you're right. They put what's most watched on the home screen, on the home page. Anywhere you go, it's on the home page. It's right there. Bow.
Yeah,
this is the most watched, and we want you to watch more of it.
My daughter and like that's weird. But it's a thing that again, society. You have people who that's not our forte whatsoever. But there's not a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot. And what society, meaning because that's what society rams down our throat. So
what? I mean, but okay. So are you saying that we're better off today than we was yesterday, or we're not better off today than we was yesterday?
I would say it's half and half.
So Anna P is wrong. We're not. Our fabric is not getting worse. We're pretty much the same.
No, I feel like it is getting worse in the sense of the degradation of us.
But what part? Like what were we doing in the past that we're not doing now?
The overstimulation of we're being oversexualized.
Let me read a couple of these. Hold on 1 second, Anna P. I'm about to come to you in 1 second. I'm about to come right to you. He said this is the biggest beard ever. He's saying that the young lady is posing as his beard, that he really dates men and he really do things with men. Which could be the case. I've heard some things about Shay Sharpe, but Shay Sharpe said to the lawyer of this girl, he said, I want you to show the entire video from the beginning to the end. He want to show the world how he is putting in work. He already done this before on Instagram when he accidentally went live during one of his sessions, when he popped one of them blue pills and he went to work and he said, oh, I didn't know I went live, but only thing you can hear is it sound like Baby Boy, you know, like when Main Man was smashing Jody's mama and they was hopping across the floor. He said, this the monkey squad, this the African monkey squad, this the African monkey squad. Like all of that, you heard all of that on Instagram accidentally. So I don't know if that's the case. He may or may not be gay and treating her like she might be the beard, but I don't know. I'm arriving late. Who leaked the convo? Did you say Buzz? No, I did not say that. What is the publication like, or what do they normally publish? This was sent directly from this was something that was floating around the internet that she allowed to go. She just leaked it so that they can scandalize his name and build their case. Okay, Anna P, my bad.
What I don't understand is I want to hear why she hasn't released the whole thing. Why are you releasing only 30 seconds? And my go-to comparison to that is the Amber Heard trials with Johnny Depp. as well as this whole Blake Lively situation that is going on, which Candace is covering and doing a phenomenal job of.
She's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And that has me questioning why you just would not release the entire tape if you have it.
No,
Release the whole thing.
no.
You released you will watch the whole thing?
No, I'm not talking about the voicemail that she released. It's only 30 seconds. Why not release what led up to that conversation? Because it could have been a role play thing where they discuss that they're going to be role playing, and she only releases a snipped portion of it. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'm just saying that is a possibility given all of the high profile stuff that we've seen in the past.
Okay.
The reason why she didn't release it is because they had to, implicate him. You don't really need a lot, right? So let me just do the little snippet that sounds like what it was, hence why he's challenging that, hence why he came out about it before it even came out, because they tried to play their hand in the background.
He tried to get in front of it.
Yeah, they tried. So he pretty much did the same thing. Are you trying to play me in the background? I'm gonna play you to the front. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I get ahead of it and see what's what. And we just gotta wait and see. Sometimes I like some of these things to kind of just like play it out. It's good to kind of, gauge your perspective, and I like to see kind of both sides of it. But this is definitely reflects his character to me, and a lot of things that, might be going on with him internally. You know what I'm saying? It also is a reflection of what kind of happens in Hollywood, what we kind of already knew, what is accepted. And we also know that Black men are a huge target. They're a target for so many different reasons, good and bad, right? But a target nonetheless. And we know that as well. We also know that sometimes you can get caught up in the rapture of the nature of the beast, right? And when you're in that realm, we don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to make sure that both sides, I'm looking at all angles of this, sort of like what we probably be looking at in the camera when they actually show the full 10-minute video. But, we got to kind of just see all angles. And yes, it's a taboo, but this is what they wanted. They wanted to kind of, you can destroy a person's career without even going through with the lawsuit. You can just drop this. Okay, you try to play with me. Let me go ahead and drop this snippet. Now you done lost, because I know he's about to renew his podcast, or he did, or he just said he was going to renew his new his second season, whatever that is, because I clearly don't always watch. But we know that his career has been elevating. We know that he also finds a way to always pivot, turn from things. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I hope that this is a lesson learned from him. A lesson learned for him down the line for sure. But I'm not going to join on the bandwagon as far as saying that he did do this, right? But what I will say is that shame on you, because it should not have been talking to no 19-year-old girl in the first place. Since you did it, since we're here, now you offer up everybody's opinion. Now you have to kind of deal with the backlash that comes with this. And, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we'll see what the information is. Right, the information has no sides.
I think whenever you are at that level of fame and celebrity, it's incumbent upon you to analyze and weigh your decision making even more carefully. You have to scrutinize everything that could possibly go wrong and make smarter decisions, because there's no way that if you're a multimillionaire, you have a successful thing going, that you could think objectively that, hey, if I start messing around with a 19-year-old, is that going to possibly backfire on me somehow? Or, hey, if I am messing with a 19-year-old and I'm 54 or 57 or whatever he was, and I'm on the phone with her, even if it's role playing, to say what he said on there in terms of like, I'm going to choke you and you don't have a choice in that matter. These are things that I feel like should be common sense.
What?
Common sense ain't
Clearly,
so common, baby. Common sense
I
ain't so
know
common.
that's the problem. Common sense is not common.
I mean, that's the thing though. It's like he's not doing anything that nobody in this circle are doing.
And that's the problem.
Everybody, yeah, that's the
exactly my
problem.
point.
That's
my
the
point.
reason. That's the reason why you got all this human trafficking and whatnot. Everybody.
Yeah.
What I'm
That's why
saying
all these
is,
kids are going meeting. All these young girls are going missing. Although Shop said in the video this was edited by Tony Busby, and he has the rest of the video. Who is that? Who is that? And that back story, different angle, possibly, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm sorry.
I'm all for letting the facts play out in court, and if he really did do this and she really did not want it, if that is the case, and say when the court documents come out, there's more evidence that we don't know. I mean, in the beginning, everyone believed Amber Heard. And then when the court started and court was in session, the evidence that came out showed exactly how manipulative she was. And I mean, they were both flawed.
That's why Shannon Sharpe is suing her and him.
Good.
Suing them is because he's not going to allow her to go through no high profile case where she's trying to take him down. He's don't even want to give her the satisfaction.
Yep. And that's how it should be. If I'm sick of people settling out of court, if you're innocent, don't settle. Take it to court and expose the fraudsters, because they are making actual victims not come forward, and they are making actual victims be questioned when they should not be questioned.
I'm a kind of just stop you a little bit right there. And I'm gonna say this, right? Sometimes the damage is done just by having the situation happen, right? Sometimes it's easier to pay and just keep your mouth shut than anything even coming out. And I'm just, especially for someone of color and someone who kind of have to like navigate through that. Sometimes I just want to pay it and get it over with, because I know the drawn out matter is it's going to cost me more in the end. This is already costing him without a lawsuit coming up, without whether he's guilty or not guilty, because we are usually presumed guilty before anything else, right? And this is not, if she was a different age, I would probably be like, I'm not defending him by any means. I'm just understanding that point of drawing people out or making them come to terms with it. In certain cases, I would say cool. But when you're of this caliber, this type of platform, about to renew contracts or did renew contracts, this is kind of like, all right, 50 million ain't nothing. You go ahead and release it, though. It can cost me more than that, because people tend to go with and develop their own judgment. Not everybody waits to court or till the facts come out. There's people already amazing. Oh, he did this. I'm sure there's plenty of podcasts that saying, oh, she ain't, all of those things, defaming each person or accusing each person of having some kind of, this is already done damage. So sometimes it's easier when it doesn't come out. Let me just go ahead and pay you and get you to sign this NDA real quick. And you can't talk about this for the next 20 to 15 years. And sometimes that's why you need to get lifetime NDA. but this is what happens sometimes.
But now the question also becomes, okay, if a crime was committed and the statute of limitations is not up, why not try to actually get justice instead of a settlement? If you are an actual victim, which I know people that have actually been victims with age gaps, they would much rather have that day in court and at least attempt to have justice prevail rather than a settlement check.
Yeah, when you got it like that. Some people ain't got it to do a settlement check. I'm sure sometimes
I understand that.
Sometimes justice does not prevail. I'm gonna keep it a whole band. Sometimes justice did not prevail for me. I could be innocent. There have been times where they have literally been innocent. And what was my guy's name who is now dating Megan Good?
Michael Jordan.
Not Michael B. Jordan. What's his name?
Reverend Al Sharpe.
Not shut up.
Shaquille O'Neal. What we talking
No,
about?
the guy who was now dating Megan Good, the girl his ex tried to accuse him. They ended up kicking him out of the whole Marvel series and
I know
everything
you
like
talking
that.
about.
But he was
don't know.
found not
I don't
guilty.
know his
Look
name
at
though.
all the things that he lost. He's now blackballed and he's not guilty.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Kevin Spacey. Is that his name?
He's
Yeah,
not
so I'm
blackballed
just saying,
anymore.
like in some of these
Yeah, no,
cases,
but he went bankrupt. He is bankrupt and he has been struggling because he was blackballed and he can't seem to get anything. And he was acquitted of both the civil and criminal trials.
Was he?
Yeah, he was acquitted in both courts. But now Hollywood still is not allowing him to step back in.
Is my wife upstairs vacuuming at 10:40?
Is she a neat freak?
Yeah, she's a neat freak.
That sounds like my mom.
Yeah, she's a neat freak.
I think Lucky is frozen.
I'm trying to find the story so I can see if because they said that there was an NDA that was signed. They signed the NDA, and that's what the lawyer of the girl is trying to say. They're accusing Shannon Sharpe of putting that girl's information out there. And if you sign an NDA, that's a violation. If you put somebody's information out there. Also, they are saying that um, 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 Shannon Sharpe offered to pay $10 million as a settlement, as an admission of guilt.
Mhm.
But if he already offered to pay that, and now he's trying to say that he didn't do anything, he never did anything, they're just simply saying, then why did you offer to pay 10 million? And Shannon Sharpe is not just going to give some random chick $10 million just to shut up. That's just not Shay Sharpe. He's internet famous and he's TV famous. But when he got on the internet, his brand went crazy. His brand went nuts. And he don't really run a church show. They talk about things in ways that can be a little, crazy or hyper adult, so to speak. Something that you probably have to watch after hours. Sometimes they get that dirty.
rated R.
And he also promotes sex pills, sex gummies, those type of things on his channel too. So for him to talk about certain topics is not rare. They actually do talk about adult topics. So I don't see this really ruining his brand by him saying that I ain't paying you nothing. You better get on my damn face. Okay, you want to go to court? Fine. It ain't going to do nothing to me. It's going to do something to you. So I don't see no issue with him doing
So
that.
you don't think this is ruining his brand at all?
She actually rejected the $10 million when he offered it. I don't think this is going to ruin his brand. Well, no. I think this will ruin his black card brand, but I don't think this is going to ruin his collective podcaster content creation brand. I don't think that's going to ruin that. I bet money on that. Like I'm so, because people would have gone through these type of things before. Joe Budden has went through a whole lot. This dude was outside running butt naked, high off or whatever the hell he was high off, beating the hell out of his wife.
Joe Budden. Everybody.
I'm just saying, beating the hell out of his wife and all this other stuff, and his brand got bigger. Diddy did a whole bunch of stuff, and his brand was getting bigger at the same time. It's like, come on, man. I don't even trust this any of this. To be honest with you, what he's doing in the privacy of his bedroom, cool, do your thing. I just have an issue with the age of the young lady, and that's only because of the age of my own children. But like somebody said, Brother Ken just now wrote this. She rejected the 10 million. He offered it, and she said, "Nah, I don't want that." Now imagine the type of person that you have to be to say, "Nah, you know what? That 10 million ain't nothing compared to what you did to me. I'm going to get everything that's owed to me."
Yeah, that's what I say. I think that it's more so that 10 million ain't nothing after you announce your $100 million contract.
You damn right.
That 10 million, I can get more.
No,
I can
that
get
10
more for
million,
you.
that
So
10
if you
million, you
offer
can
me
get
10
10 million.
million, what else
10%
can
is a
you
lot.
offer me? Yeah, what else can you offer me? Like,
What happened between y'all where
let me
it
tell you
makes you
something.
think that you
I'm
can
gonna
get
tell you
more than
what
10
this is
million?
what happened, right? Because if a man raped me, there would be no price in this living blood seat earth. I didn't
So
curse.
you saying he did it?
No, I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying me as a woman, if you raped me,
Great.
great. I'm sorry. If you raped me, whatever, right? My bad. If you did those things that he's being accused of,
She got stuck again.
there's no amount of money that would be able to silence me.
Mm-hmm.
There's just none. And let's face
If
it, this society today can be bought, right? Anything can be bought. Your freedom can be bought. Your freedom can be taken and bought. You see what I'm saying? Like there could be a price for your freedom too as well. So that's just me, because we are no longer ruled by our moral compass. We are ruled by a green compass, right?
so you mean to tell me that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all in chat, this for y'all too. I feel like it's okay to pay you to violate you, because that has been our relationship this entire time. So when is too far too far? When is too much too much?
Yeah,
From the moment we met, OnlyFans
that's what
girl,
yeah.
I have been paying you to violate you. So what's different?
I think it comes down to the common understanding between the two people and what was agreed upon. Does that make sense? Like if he's
Do you think they had a checklist of things that are agreed upon? Do you think they really talked about, so we're about to do this now? What's allowed and what's not allowed?
yeah,
Nah, they got freaked out. They went
Yeah, I'm thinking
crazy.
that if
I
he's
agree with you, but I think that it gets very murky whenever it involves a situation like this where they could be into BDSM, they could be into role playing, they could be into various things that really complicates if someone decides to turn around and spin what they had agreed upon into something that it's not. Does that make sense?
Give me more.
Well, if they had agreed to him speaking to her in that manner, because say it's a turn on for her to be degraded or spoken to like that beforehand, when they first started dating or sleeping with each other or whatever. If that's the case, then now he's in a situation where what you originally agreed upon is leverage for her to use it against you. Even though he is paying her, or okay, let me say it like this. If you have a simple, not even famous people, a prostitute and a John, and the prostitute and the John have the same sort of agreement where they want BDSM and rough intercourse and whatnot, and then the prostitute turns around and says, oh no, this was grape. How do you defend against that as the man? Because that was something that you had agreed upon, but it gets lost in the weeds when it comes to the after effect.
Okay, so I will have to really go into my imagination, because I really can't see myself being a John, so I can put myself in in that scenario. Um, would you say, Keish? Oh, you're
You're
muted.
muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
I can give sort of an example, right? Say, for instance, okay, you're into that type of thing, BDSM. I am what they would call a vanilla. right? I'm green. I don't know anything. But I'm open to the ideal of what it is. I get your results. I analyze them. What do they mean? This, that, and the third. Okay. May not give me too descriptive, right? And then we get into the action, and then, it's soft slaps. Okay. I'm okay with that. All right. I might go with that. Might get a little light choke with one hand. Okay. I might be okay with that.
Okay, how far you about to go through feathers and apples and
I'm
dirt?
just saying 2 hands, maybe not so much. A more aggressive slap. I'm looking at, you kind of got to know, like, have a safe word or have some kind of something. You kind of have to have, something safe to kind of say, okay, that's not my thing, or have that kind of discussion. If he felt discomfortable, usually it's introduced to a person slowly who is not exposed to it. If this is your level of exposure and this is something that you are used to, they might go in and a little bit more aggressively because we can identify this way. To me, either way, it's sliced as far as that goes. Whatever your choice is your choice. The age, again, like what Van said,
Yeah,
is the
I
problem.
agree.
Is the major problem for me. Not so much the dynamic. What he said to her, to me, was not out of character if that's the characters that they play.
Mhm.
So that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but Lucky, I want your
Nasty.
on another aspect. So, in terms of people that have fantasies like that, where they want the BDSM or rough stuff, right? What if it's that kind of a fantasy is something that turns them on, and in the moment they like it, and then afterwards they feel guilty about the fact that they liked it. So now
or vice versa, or they didn't like, or it made them, they thought that they liked it and in the end, oh, I really don't like this.
exactly. So it's like, what if that?
Damn that. No take backsies.
No, but I understand that. But my
Nah.
point is, what if that is something that turns them on and they participate in it, and then afterwards they have a hindsight kind of regret and
What
feel.
their hindsight starts to hurt because the more because
I'm not saying it as a defense of that,
No.
because I don't agree with it. I don't think that's excusable, but it's just a lack of self-awareness of themselves, where instead of dealing with the guilt that they're feeling internally and that shame, they are trying to find another person to pass that on to, and it's the man. Where it's like, oh no, I would never have done that myself. This is your fault. You forced me to do this. Do you know what I mean?
I understand that part.
Yeah.
I understand that
I
part.
feel like a lot of situations can be tied to that kind of a dynamic.
Possibly. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Okay, y'all. I'm just gonna let y'all know y'all made me a little uncomfortable. Just it starts out with a little slap, and then a spank on the hand with a spoon. Then we move up to a fork. Then we move up to a butter knife. All right. So I don't know. That whole situation is just weird. And honestly, I'm sad that I even covered it.
I don't want to have any definitive foot in any side until I see the court documents. But I do think this does reflect well on Shannon Sharpe if he is actually suing her and taking her to court to clear his name. I think that is not an action that I would expect a guilty man to make.
Happening. I don't know what's going on.
Your internet been smoking that reefers.
Nah, because I be sharp.
I didn't say you. I said your internet been smoking the reefers. Not you.
I'm about to just transfer it over to my phone because at least I know my phone service is way more sufficient.
Well, when you were gone, Anna P pretty much said that she agrees that she want to see it all play out in court.
Yeah.
Like she's not believing any of that. I hope it doesn't even go to court. I hope that this is what I hope. This is what I hope. I hope the little girl is exposed for lying so that Shannon Sharpe can get back to doing what he do. Because I don't want to believe that Shannon Sharpe will be that type of individual that will have to rape somebody grape somebody in order to get what he wants. I don't want to believe that.
Can I just elaborate on that point that you just made as well?
Sure.
I do hope that he is innocent. And as wrong as this sounds, I do hope she is lying, because then that means that a woman was not abused and that he is not an abuser. Because if there's one thing we need more of in this world, or less of in this world, is more victims and more abusers.
Yep.
I would have to say that the truth for some people is very subjective. It's, their perspective. I feel like someone could be telling the truth and lying, not really lying, because that could be their truth, right? I'm hoping that this comes out and it was just a total misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
meaning in the sense of that could be her truth, because maybe she felt that. Maybe something that it could have changed the dynamic, could, like you said, the dynamic could have shifted, and now it doesn't feel good to me anymore. Now I feel like something, because there are some people who can take a lot of technical tests and pass it. If that is something that you truly believe that. Right. And whatever feeling she has to validate that, then that's cool. However, I hope that the facts state that it was not a grape. But the facts also state that you talked to somebody who was 19 years old, and all parties still have to be accountable. I hope that this situation, both are able to learn from it, because maybe what she learned was she's not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for this stage yet. I'm not ready for this level of exposure. I'm not ready for this level of aggressiveness or this lifestyle of whatever it is. I'm just hoping that it could dissolve, because you're right. We don't need any more victims or villains in the world. We have enough. I'm hoping that that's what happens, because
you just wanted to be kumbaya. It's not.
I know it's not kumbaya. Kumbaya to me is lessons being learned and blessings being earned. That is kumbaya to me. Like, to me, every loss is just a lesson. It's not for you to technically lose anything. But because there's, you know what? Nah, you are, because there are supposed to be sacrifices. In order for you to get where you need to go, sometimes you got to sacrifice, right? So there can be losses. But those are lessons in the losses. So I'm just hoping that the lesson is learned. Leave them 19-year-old girls alone. Go and find somebody of your level of caliber with a mature brain, and hopefully not against anything, but I hope you need to be married. Somebody said you need to be married and 54, taking your blood pressure medication. But you're healthy. He's healthy. He's young. He's vibrant. Just find somebody that you can really hang with and not have to take a pill for. Because if you're selling these pills, that means you can't really hang.
Well, he's selling the pills because this is something that he probably don't need it, but he sells them. He probably does need it. Who knows? I'm not here to talk about what that man's able to do. But goddamn, man, what was you about to say? What was you about to say?
Sugar honey iced tea. I'm sorry. I have that tendency to do that sometimes and cut people off. I'm sorry.
This is what I think. I think that if she is proven to be wrong about this, the same punishment that he would have gotten, she should get.
Exactly.
I think that should happen.
We need to have a deterrence for women making false accusations, because it is not fair to ruin somebody's entire reputation, family, and just you're ruining a man's life. And it's not even for men. Even if a man were to come forward and falsely accuse a woman, which that doesn't happen as frequently.
As it
ain't no
should.
man
Like Drea
accuse
should
no
be
woman of nothing.
man, she should be locked up. It's like,
Why don't
But-
men accuse women of stuff? Like, why don't men accuse women of that?
I don't know.
Because men are less reactive when it comes to emotions. A lot of situations that I've seen, it tends to, I mean, one case that I know from high school, the one night stand that was consensual between people that I know, the man rejected the girl afterwards, and that struck a nerve with her, and she ended up accusing him for that one night stand. He ended up getting acquitted, but it was just it was a personal thing. She took it personally that he rejected her afterwards.
Did she
and
get
didn't
jail
wanna-
time?
Huh?
Did she get jail time?
She did not.
Then that sucks. All right, so because if he was acquitted, then somebody should take that blame. Sorry, y'all wasted all the court's time.
Exactly.
Somebody need to take the blame.
And
There were
taxpayers.
security cameras that proved his version of the events to be.
Yeah, she should have been in jail.
I agree.
She should have been in
I
jail.
agree.
1000%. Getting pregnant by a trans woman.
Trans woman.
Okay.
What did I mean by that? Lucky.
Huh?
She's still calculating.
Oh, what are you thinking about over there?
I'm like,
She's like, how's that going to work?
no, but if she get locked up,
She did
that
not get
can't
locked
happen
up.
because now they're putting. Now that's you can opt what jail you want to go to. Whoever
Yeah.
you identify with is where you can go. So that
Yeah,
can
I
actually
mean,
happen.
But
That actually
That's
didn't
true.
that happen? Wasn't that a story? Wasn't that a story somewhere
His-
with a guy
yes,
got
it
one of the
was.
guards or another girl? Yeah, I mean,
a
there's
trans
multiple
woman
stories.
went to a woman's prison and got 2 women pregnant.
yeah.
A man identified as a woman and went to a women's prison and got 2 women pregnant in the prison. This happened twice.
Yeah, I thought that, I knew
2
that was a
separate times.
story. I knew that was a thing.
There was one that got multiple women pregnant.
Yeah, it was one that just went in there and was like, whoever want one right now, I'm gonna give you one. Who else want one? I give you one. Who else want one? They was probably paying them and everything. Them, whatever you want to call
They,
it.
them.
Look, let me tell you
All the above.
All
We
the
just need
above.
the selection, like those multiple choice, all the above.
All the above.
Everyone.
Every last one of them.
something. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're thinking very hard.
Never mind. Let me keep my thoughts to myself.
The math doesn't math. Lucky.
It's-
Don't waste
it
your
never-
time on that.
The math never does math. It never will. I honestly, somebody said never trust women. You're right. Sorry, ladies.
And that's rude. That's so rude. Pull them up. Let's debate them.
I
I'm ready.
mean, I would say a person who says never to trust someone is also a person who can't be trusted.
You hear that, Tamara?
Ooh, I like
Lucky.
that, Lucky. That was
Lucky.
awesome.
You
So
don't
if you
trust-
say never trust women, that says a lot about you. Do you trust yourself? Because I
Well,
trust me. I
Tamara
trust
said-
myself. I trust the level of discernment I have. I trust my honor. I trust my integrity. So therefore, I'm able to kind of navigate through, with other people. You know what I'm saying? But I trust me. I can't really say for everybody else, but I trust me. So
Let's put it this way. Never trust someone that has trust issues, like the commenter who does not trust women.
Y'all gonna stop bullying Tamara.
But I would say this. I would
Right.
say that women have given society. I would say this. Situations like this give men a very strong argument to not trust us. So if I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate, cool. But I'm just saying when you make comments like that, like a blanket state comment, I actually feel empathetic for you because you haven't met a woman that you could trust, and that's kind of sad.
Well, most men,
Devil's advocate here.
most men who are teaching young men how to move tell them not to trust women too much, not as far as you can throw them. Like you got to see certain things. Like, and this is not no knock at you all, but ladies, and I know it's probably rude, but I'm just saying.
I
That's what
agree.
we're taught at a very young age. Don't trust these. Snoop Dogg. Look, people love him. Most recognizable voice in probably in the United States. Like when
Don't
Snoop
trust
talk,
these
you know that's
garden
Snoop.
tools.
Yeah. He taught us that from a young age. Don't trust y'all women.
Thank
He
you,
didn't say
John.
that.
John said this has been a very good and honest in combos. I think so too, John. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Well, you know what I mean? It's going to get even better. We didn't go to the yay thing. I'm gonna touch on that just for a second, but I want one of you to read it. So whichever one of you want to volunteer to read,
Go ahead, Anna P.
all right, feel free. Go ahead and read.
Right. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, it felt like it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. I'm sorry, I'm like shocked reading it. So I'm trying to process it and read it at the same time. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dingling till I was 14. Tweet sent.
Kanye West. This is from Kanye West's official Twitter page.
Okay, I have a question.
And he has a song to go with this. He made a song about it, an actual video of him singing that he. Go ahead. What's your question?
He specified the age that his cousin was when this whole thing took place.
Yep.
Why hasn't he said what age he was at? Because if he was 14 and his cousin was 6, and he's the one that showed his cousin the magazines and suggested to reenact it, because trust me, a 6-year-old is not going to know.
Yeah.
What I'm not understanding is why everyone is acting like Ye is the victim in this situation when we don't know the full picture fully.
So far, I haven't heard anybody saying that Ye is the victim.
Lil Boozy and ASAP Ferg and everyone have sent
Lil Boosie is
their
gonna
tweets.
always back the rappers, but I mean, he's gonna. Well, the Little Boosie one that I've seen, I don't know if that was him saying that he backed Ye.
I'm gonna say this. This is something that happens in communities often, culturally, when it comes to your first couple of experiences being with someone who is you're related to, or someone that you grew up and you grew up closely with. And as young kids, you do emulate what you see, especially if you were exposed to it at an early age as well. I'm not saying that his mom or his dad did those types of things, right? But the exposure to it, I would like to know more details about it. But this is something that happens pretty often. It's a very uncomfortable conversation. This is not something that people like to talk about. It's very taboo, but this is something that happens on a regular basis.
Van, can I point out another thing that I just realized?
Yeah.
Because I just read it over again, and this is something that narcissists, and I mean, I'm not saying that he is one, but he's spoken about his own mental health issues, and bipolar people will do. And all the psychology stuff that I watch on YouTube myself, the way that he frames it in the first paragraph, where he's pointing out that the cousin that he's referring to is locked up in jail for killing a pregnant lady. He's automatically already setting up the cousin that he's talking about when this happened, when he was 6 years old, the cousin was 6,
Mhm.
as the villain in the story that he's trying to paint here. Like, hey, don't view him as a victim of my wrongdoing because he's killed a pregnant woman and he's in prison right now.
I just think that's a matter of interpretation. Kanye has known mental illnesses. Kanye has not been the same since after his mom passed away. And he has struggled with mental illness, and that has been publicly made knowledge of. So I want us to make sure that we understand that this could all be to a plot twist or a setup to have this kind of uncomfortable discussion. This could be all factual. And he has mental illnesses, and I'm not excusing it, but just even how he wrote it just seems like, I don't know. So I just want to wait and see. I want to listen to the song. Is it possible that we can hear the song?
Yeah, we can hear the song.
Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta make sure I hit this all the way.
Hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. We sing to niggas kiss and we ain't know what that shit mean. Then we start reenacting everything that we had seen. That's when I gave my cousin head, gave my cousin head, gave my cousin head, I gave my cousin head, I gave my cousin head. And I know these niggas about to judge me now. And I know these niggas about to judge me now. Throw it off when we was hanging out. I was like, cousin, not to tell nobody. People tell me take it to my grave. The truth will set you free someday. I don't think they understand that I'm not attracted to a man. They thought I was gay. Nitrous don't help me, it just put me in a trance. I'm talking about euphoria, I'm not talking about a man. Told her don't leave me, cause I need you by my side. As long as you don't leave me, then I'll probably be alright. And that one time that you left me, I didn't get no sleep that night. And that one time that you left me, I took 10 bursts to get high. 10 bursts to get high. Pray that I don't die. But if I die,
Okay, I can't listen to this no more.
I'm a little emotional. That was actually heartbreaking. Listening to that.
I think he's doing it for attention. He doing it for attention. This is what he do. He go get a swastika chain so that he can get attention. He puts on everything that he can possibly do or talk about. He does it for attention. I'm not believing it.
I still think this brings attention to something that happens, that company happens. And I think that this, even though it is what it is, right? What I would get from this if my children happen to come across this, that this is something that happens and something that we need to discuss, meaning that this is something that has actually happened, meaning that his story is true, but this is something that people have gone through or have experienced. You know what I'm saying?
What if his cousin that's arrested right now is trying to blackmail him and he is getting in front of it?
Or what if his cousin has a mental illness and did what
Everything
he did?
can't be blamed on mental illnesses, man.
I'm not
Like,
saying
that's
everything
something
can,
you
but
do past this.
but I'm not trying to give him no pass. I'm saying
No, I'm just saying we by proxy, when we put in mental illness on it, it gives them a pass. You're not trying to give it to them, but I'm just saying by proxy they get that pass if it's a mental illness
or a mediating factor to the wrongdoing, where you're not giving it a pass, but you're kind of saying this is kind of an excuse, not for the action, but for why they are the way that they are.
who's to say that that's why they are why they are who they are? Being having a mental illness does not define us.
No, that's
And
not what I'm. That's. I see. This is what I mean. I can't put my thought into words properly. So, in terms of mediating factors, like you know how if someone in court is sentenced to death, and then you have the defense that comes and they bring people that will give examples of
Their
why
character,
they're a good
their
person
character
or
witness. Mhm.
their community service actions, the things that they contribute to society, and mental health issues are also considered mitigating factors, which goes towards lessening the sentence.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt that, and it could have been also the music was so bad it just brought me to tears too. Because the song was like it was sort of like the dysphoria. Like it was like looking at the video, listening to the words, the pitch of the words, the tone, like the video itself, like the guy falling from the sky. You talking about you taking perks? She was getting. It's just it's a lot going on, and it's sad. Like it's immediate, just sadness, and it's just like it's sadness on so many different levels. Sadness because this is very bad music, but also the contents of what you're saying, your verbiage is just bad. The pitch is just bad. It's just bad. It's not even a good. It's just nothing good. It's just
I get it. Anna, she's how many ways can you say it's not bad? I mean, it's not good. It's
it's
bad.
just
It's not good. It's just good. It's not.
it's just it brings an
I
emotion.
like it.
It is emotional
Well,
provoking.
I mean, but it's trash. It's
Yeah,
trash.
it's
And Kanye
trash.
has been trash lately too. Whether he has a mental issue or not, he has been trash. He has been
Van,
reaching. He's been saying dumb things just to get daggone attention. I don't care for it. And if he actually did this, I honestly believe that he definitely has potential to do something like this. But you know, what I mean, Kanye has been on a self destruction tour for a long time, and yeah, this is just
and I
one
think it's
chapter
also,
of it.
I mean, for all the bad publicity that he's been getting, trying to be loud, what is no one talking about right now? Him wearing the swastika, him wearing the black KKK
Exactly.
thing, him wearing the swastika on the shirt or the jewelry. No one's talking about that anymore because now he's king
Welcome.
of headlines.
He wants to be anyway.
Exactly. And Van, I do have a question for you. So throwing it back to your reaction days, would you have even finished or gotten this far into the song before shutting it off if you had to do a reaction to this?
I have before. I have before. As a matter of fact, I hurt somebody's feelings. They sent me in a super chat asking me to do a song, and I told him that the song was trash in like 30 seconds, and I couldn't move on with it. And he got pissed. He got pissed, but he asked me to react to it. I'm not reacting to it, doesn't mean being forced to sit through the entire song. It's like, check the song out. Just like any DJ, like you got this artist that you're managing, you call up the radio station, be like, yo, check the song out. This is my guy. Next up, pop in. And they check it out and they listening to it 15 seconds in. Man, this some trash. I ain't playing the rest of this. Give us something else. You know what I mean? That's what somebody that's real about their job would do. That's what I was doing with reactions too, man. Sometimes I will get a song that was requested by somebody, and if it was trash, it didn't even go up on the channel. And I would let them know. I was like, look, I was reacting to it. I didn't even finish the reaction. I didn't edit it or nothing. It wasted my time. As a matter of fact, you should send me another gift, monetary gift for wasting my time.
That's amazing.
I mean, no, seriously, that's how it helped. I don't know. I just have compassion for him. I have compassion for him
I
too,
do
Nanny.
too.
And thank you guys for all the super chats. Y'all are dope. I have compassion for him as well. It's just honestly, um, I I'm tired of his antics.
You can have compassion for someone and still be critical of them. That doesn't mean you don't have compassion for them.
Yeah, I won't turn the blind eye to this.
Yeah,
I want him to succeed. I want him to
I
before
don't
him
anymore. I
putting
don't.
out. No, but Van, I'm going to explain to you what I mean. Regardless of him putting out any more music or any art or anything for us, the audience, I want him to get himself right for his kids and his family. Because
I do want that. Yeah.
that is the most important thing. His kids need him and they need him to be in a healthy headspace and they need him to be a leader. He's their
He
father.
he need to close his businesses.
Mhm.
He need to safely and intelligently invest the remainder of money that he has, and he need to put himself in a quiet, safe space that's not only good for him and his mental well-being, but someplace where his children can come and spend time with him whenever he has time to do it. He bought a mansion right next to this. The dude has endless money. He can do it. So all of this grandstanding and trying to be the bad news outline is immature. It's pointless. It's like, what else is this going to do for your career? Absolutely nothing. Will it continue to hurt your family if you continue down this
Yes,
path? Yes,
it's
it
sad.
will.
Yeah.
He's
So
a
fix it.
broken man right now and he needs to nobody can put him together until he decides that he wants to be put back together. And he needs to figure that out soon because he is on a downward spiral. And if he doesn't get a grip of it now, it's only going to accelerate. And I pray that that doesn't happen. And I do think the most important thing Kanye needs right now is for people to pray for him.
You know
And
what?
he
I
needs that.
I would do that. I would definitely pray for him, and hopefully you guys will too. All right.
If not for him, for his kids' sake.
Hmm. Yeah,
I ain't praying for his kids. They all had better
Saying
lives than
pray
I
for
ever
him
had.
to be
They
good
don't need my prayers.
so that his kids can have him.
hey, a prayer doesn't hurt. You know, it's a couple of words. You know
I'm
what I'm
praying for
saying?
Ye. Ye will
Yeah,
pray for his kids.
yeah, I'm praying. I'm praying exactly because technically he's the leader of that domain. But what's supposed to be if he has sound mind. But either way, um,
You want
yeah,
peace and harmony and love and lollipops and
I
flowers.
no, I know that in order to have all of those things, we have to experience the other things. So although I know in order to, I always say I find peace in my chaos. I know that in order to know peace, you had to know what war, whether it's with, you know, within or outside of self. I know that everything starts and ends with us. I understand that there are imbalances in the world and not everything is going to be zen, love, peace, and harmony. But what I will do is give a more loving and understanding aspect with a lot of logic as well with and just give balance with what I say. So I am very saddened again by this, and I am praying for his well-being of self, and I hope that someone can remove his mic and like take him off here because this song. I hope no one plays this song. I hope we all decide not to run the strings up on this. I hope we decide that the only attention this needs is help. This was like so many different screams for help. That's all I heard was help
It
through
was
the whole.
horrible.
It
It
was
was
horrible.
horrible.
It was like, help me make a better song.
It
Help
was
me be a better
horrible.
person. Just help.
Save me.
Save
Save
me.
me.
Yeah. I'm
No,
fault.
no, nobody want to save you. You did you see what he did? How he degraded his last lady? He brought her
Yeah,
in the red
on the
on the
red
red
carpet.
carpet, butterball naked, and made her take off her robe in front of her coat in front of everybody,
Okay.
and just
But she
show that
chose
and
to do
turn
that.
around.
She
That's
wanted to
what
do
y'all
that and
gotta
she
stop
ran it by
being
him.
made.
That was her
This
decision.
well, just because the hoe is obedient, don't mean that you can't say something about the pimp too.
Yeah, no, I agree. But my point is, it was her choice to want to do that. And she asked him if he would be okay with it. And then he gave her the okay. But
So,
regardless, this circles back to society just decaying.
but do we believe? Yeah, you're right, and that right there shows it. But prostitution has been prevalent for a long time. I'm sure y'all heard of Bathsheba, but you know, what I mean, this has been going on since biblical days. But he hoarded her around, and the pimp should be. When we talk about mind control, I'm sure y'all believe that that's a real thing. Y'all know mind control is a real thing.
Mhm.
Y'all know manipulation is a real thing. People will play the role as long as they believe that this person is powerful enough to get me from A to B where I want to go, and not giving them a pass because she's dumb as hell for doing it. But the pimp, he knows what he was doing. He said, "Take off your coat. All right, now turn around. Show them everything. All right, y'all got all the angles, cameraman. All right, let's go."
Yeah.
Like, that's nasty work right there. I got a problem with that. And and that's just, honestly, that's, call me soft or whatever, but that's just how I am.
I
To be
just don't
honest with you.
understand how anyone, even if take Kanye out of the situation, as a woman, say she did that on her own and he wasn't by her side. How could you not value yourself and your body? Your body's supposed to be your temple. How do you have such little value and to grant everyone, including strangers and creeps that might be watching, access to
Baby,
every single part of you? And just like knowing that your family, your dad, your cousins, just everyone can see you and
no.
every part of you.
Let me tell you something. They done seen her already. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about your body and your temple anymore. We can see that on the internet every day. It's like it's accepted to be naked. It's accepted to be a thotty body. It's so beautiful being butt naked and busting it wide open all the time. That is something that is like the norm. And it's like all the young girls want to do it. I remember going to the club in cute little suits and the guys had on slacks and the girls was dressed up. And even with our tight fitting dresses, you know, my cheek wasn't hanging out. Now there are dresses made specifically to have your cheeks hanging out. There are
Yep.
shorts that are doing
Already
that.
cut
They're
out.
already cut out. It's
Pasties.
so much. Boo, the body is your temple was long and gone in the 90s.
Okay,
In
but
the 80s.
now just a small counter to that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you would wear that to the club. But see, that's the distinction. You would wear that kind of an outfit that might be provocative to a setting that is wear that if you were going to your grandmother's house, you're not going to wear the same
No,
dress.
now I'm telling you that now the young girls will wear that to Thanksgiving dinner. Like I'm being honest. Like it's
I'm
even
just
a thing.
that
It's
I
even
can't
a thing to have
comprehend
your
that.
kids. They making crop top. They're making crop top shirts. My daughter is 11 years old. Okay, happy belated birthday, baby girl. 11 years old. She will refuse to wear crop top, but you know what? They making crop top pieces. They making the booty shorts. Everything is cuffed up, rolled up, tied up, tightened up in kitty clothes. Okay, you can see the whole Balenciaga thing when that was a thing. They had a whole BDS movement for the kids, for the kids, for the kid campaign to launch out their line. You see what I'm saying? So it's this is where we are.
So you
And
team Kanye. That's
I'm
what
not.
you are.
I'm.
You
I'm not.
team Kanye.
You love to put a label on people and be trying to get me to identify, but I'm not team Kanye. I'm team of what makes sense. I'm team of logic. I'm team of that everybody's going to show us everything at the same time. I'm team that people be lying. I'm team that the real is the fake and the fake is the real. That's that because that's
Okay,
what
there
it
you
is.
go. Yeah, I believe that as well. Anna P, what's your final words for the people? We about to get up out of
Final
here.
words. Just pray for everyone. Pray for our society. Pray for your enemies. Pray for the people that you despise because they are probably the people that need it the most. And this world is complicated.
And pray for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's and pray
And
for yourself.
no. Most importantly, ask God to use you as a vessel of His.
That's good. That's good. Ask God to use y'all as a vessel of His. Thank y'all for hanging out with us for a little bit tonight. Y'all have an amazing night. And thank you to everybody who helped out the Blues and to everybody who submitted super chats. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. We will see you again on a Thursday. Peace. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.